Liverpool are, well, what are they? They're all over the place. And as someone else pointed out, I mean, they had Carvalho and Harvey Elliott in their midfield. I mean, both were playing in the Championship last season and 2 seasons ago. Regardless of how good they are, they're not ready to be doing what Liverpool need yet, are they?
Yeah, Liverpool are a funny one because, you know, they will beat Man City one week and then lose to Nottingham Forest the next. So big questions about why that is the case. I think I'm always going to say they're probably tactical to an extent. When you're a team like Liverpool at the top of the league, teams are going to largely play against you in a certain way, which is sitting deeper against you, and then you've got to figure out how to break down low blocks. And I think that's always been the issue that Jurgen Klopp has been trying to sort out. And he's done that by, when he first came in, obviously he had a really sort of odd midfield, and everyone was like, how can Liverpool be so good with a midfield with like Jordan Henderson and James Milner in it or whatever, or Adam Lallana. And I feel as though, you know, they've tried to develop that midfield so they've got more on-ball quality on it, in it. But that does come at the expense of some of the more functional stuff that midfield was doing as well. And I suspect, and again, I didn't watch this game, but I suspect that the issue that we're seeing now from Liverpool is to do with the fact that as soon as one part of your system breaks, everything seems to fall apart. And so we talk a lot about Trent Alexander-Arnold. We talk a lot about Liverpool's problems in defensive situations, not protecting their back four. And I suspect a lot of that comes from the higher press not working as well as it did. So when you have a higher press, you can protect your defence a lot better. And that comes down to having different players in that front line, having different players in the midfield. But essentially, I think this JJ will agree with me. Like, there's lots of little things happening all at once, which means that they are now no longer greater than the sum of their parts.
Loads of injuries as well.
Just happens sometimes. Like, I mean, you can even look back to Sir Alex Ferguson's Man United team. Sometimes they win the league and then they might have a bit of a drop off and finish fourth or something like that. Like, it's totally normal. And they came to an end of a cycle, and this is probably the start of a new one now. It will take time for them to then become what they're going to be in the future going forward. They'll change, like the age profile of their team is slightly older than it was. He wants to play a standard football, a type of football, I should say, that suits a younger team. It takes time to get the new players back in together. You want to maintain the older players in there so you keep the values through and you keep the standards the same. But then just little things go wrong, like James Milner caught in it. Not James Milner, Alexander-Arnold caught slightly out of position or whatever, or Joe Gomez having a terrible time, Matip not being quite there, injuries in the midfield, Harvey Elliott learning how to play or how to stop opposition counters. He's very good on the ball, maybe not as strong enough there. He's a change of shape to try and deal with structural issues. And I think it's just the end of a cycle, and then they'll start a new one as well. Like players like Sadio Mane leaving is the example of, like, that's the cycle ended. One of the key players of it gone now.
So what should we expect from Liverpool if they're in, you know, a transitional bit? Can they finish in the top four while transitioning?
No, they can definitely finish top four. I'd expect them to, actually. Like, they're still brilliant. It's just that sometimes these things happen where things go against you like this. It happened to him at Borussia Dortmund where things just kept going against you. The underlying numbers, they're all right. Like, they're fine. They're going to finish probably top four. And they're still decent to watch. I mean, I think you saw earlier that it got absolutely bodied by Napoli in the Champions League a little while ago, just torn apart with individual errors and things not working the way they used to. And now, I didn't think they'd start adjusting things as quickly as they have because it's worked so well for so long. But they see that the way they set up now is like a 4-2-3-1 and 4-4-2. Both Klopp and Pep Linders are obsessed with Arrigo Sacchi. Like, they absolutely love him. And I think Klopp's written theses on him for his coaching badge or something like that. Maybe I'm wrong with that, but they definitely talk about him a lot. I know he's studied videos of him and Roy Hodgson. That's who Klopp studied when he was doing his UEFA Pro, I think.
Good knowledge.
Yeah, and
Roy.
so Sacchi was always like a 4-4-2 kind of like really high press, aggressive kind of play. It'll just come together. I think it'll be absolutely fine.
Excellent.
But, yeah, there you
That's
go.
us.
If you like this video, please consider subscribing to the channel. The Athletic is home to some of the world's best sports journalists, including David Ornstein, Daniel Taylor, Ollie Kay, Amy Lawrence and Rafa Honigstein. There are journalists dedicated to each Premier League team, so every fan gets the coverage they deserve, not just the big clubs. And you can try it for free now for 30 days. See the link in the description.